19th of November, Rabbi Furst, uh, Tana debate Eliyahu.
Okay, fine. Thank you, Lou. As Lou mentions, the Rabbi Shlomo first here at Shiva Samanam Shiva Shrine Care of Zoom. Our first share this morning, Tanakh de Eliyahu. We're currently learning the second chapter, and let's see, we are in the paragraph on page 2, which is the third, the third paragraph from the bottom of the page. If you note it there, starting in Davar Acher. You have it there.
Davar alternatively, Ma Gadlu Ma'asich Hashem. How great are your deeds, Hashem? Ma'asecha? I'm not sure. Bo Ur'u Kama Mini Behemos Yesh Ba'olam. Come and see how many species there are of animals in the world. The kama mine chayos yesh ba'olam, and how many species of wild animals there are. The kama mine dagim yesh bayam, and how many types of fish there are in the sea. Shema kolo shel zeh dome zeh. Perhaps the sound of this one is like this one. Oh Shema mar'eh shel zeh dome zeh. Or perhaps the appearance of one is like the other. Oh Shema daiso shel zeh dome zeh. Or perhaps the thought processes of this one of each one is the same. Oh Shema Ta'amo Shelzeh Domezeh, or perhaps the taste of each one is the same. Ha
Right.
lo,
I'll just to make a comment on this last point about maybe you think that the taste of one species will taste like the other species. Rashi and Chumash actually brings down that even the same type of fish, same species of fish that grows, say in the Atlantic, when it grows in the Pacific or a different section of the sea, will taste differently based on the place where it grows. So you see, even within specific species, there are different tastes depending on different factors as well.
wow, didn't know that. Ha lo kol velo mar'eh velo dea velo ta'amo shel zeh domezeh. But um, the it's not true that the sound or the appearance or the uh, thought process or the taste of each is the same. Shanu Chachamim.
But even within the same, again, when you're talking about the thought process, even every person thinks differently, right?
Right.
No two people think the same way. No people react the same way. How do we know that? We know that from when Moshe Rabbeinu, when he was praying for Kadosh Baruch Hu, to for the next leader of Klal Yisrael, Moshe Rabbeinu had understood, and after as many prayers, was still not allowed to come into Eretz Israel. He would not be able to lead Klal Yisrael to to Eretz Israel. So inevitably, he now had to turn his attentions towards finding a new leader to lead Klal Yisrael. So he, Zispal, he prayed to Kadosh Baruch Hu, Elokei Haruchos. Now, Rashi explains also there that Kadosh Baruch Hu is referred to the master of all ruchos, of all literally like spirits of. But Rashi explains that referring to Moshe Rabbeinu wanted a leader for Klal Yisrael that would be capable of understanding and dealing with each individual person according to their own particular mindset. And everyone thinks differently, and therefore it's important that a leader be able to understand and relate to everybody, even though not everyone thinks and reacts the same way. So each and every person is thinks differently. I don't know if you can say that about animals and other species. You know, they're basically they're programmed instinctively, but not every animal would react exactly the same as every other animal, or even within its own species. But that's just to show the tremendous variation that the Kurdish world has built into the universe. Oh, so what does all this mean, right? All this tremendous variation, what does it show? So it continues on.
So the sages taught in the Mishnah in Sanhedrin, the Hagid Gidolos shall Melech Malchei HaMalachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to proclaim the greatness of the King of Kings, the Holy One, blessed is He. Shadam Tova Kama Matbios Bechosam Echod Vicholan Domin Zelazeh. That a person's goodness.
So here, tova is a verb found of kama. See the word matbeos. Matbeos are coins, right?
Right?
So tova is when you mint. To mint a coin is called tova.
Oh. So that a person mints uh many coins?
Right. A person is going to mint many coins. The chosim echad with one mold.
With
Right.
one
Usually,
mold.
I think it's called. And maybe there's maybe a more specific name for the mold that they use for minting coins.
Right. Yeah. I don't know what the word is, but I know what you're talking about.
I'll try and look it up. But let's continue on in the meantime.
Uh and each of them is the same as the other. Umelech Malchei HaMalchim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Tuva Es Kol Ha'adam B'Chosamo Shel Adam Harishon.
Okay. Anyway, it's it's called could be called a dye.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right.
Called a dye. There we go.
So So if people make coins, they're all the same. But Hashem, uh, he mints all of the people in a mold or a die uh, of Adam Harishon. Ve'ein
Right.
echad mehem dome lechavero, and uh, not one of them is not the same as his friend. L'chach ne'amar ma gadlu masecha, and that this is why it says, "How great are your deeds, Hashem." Devar acher, alternatively, lamanatseach mizmur David, Hashemayim misaprim kavod kale. Lamanatseach, I think it's translated as for the choir master, a psalm of David. The heavens proclaim the honor or the glory of Hashem. The halo hein b'mekoman ve'ein zayin misham leolam. And is it not that they are in the place that is not what is Zazin?
That it's they don't move. That Zaz one of the Aramaic names for money is a zuz. You've heard about that. Matayim zuz. Yeah, you've had that come across that in the Gemara zuz, right?
Right. Zuzin, plural of Zuz.
Right. So that's the name for money. So they say that, because I'll say why is money given a name zuz? Because it's moving. Money always moves.
So
So here, what are we saying here? That it says Hashemayim Misrapim Kabot Kale. It says Halo Bimkomam Main Zuzan Mishum La'olam. You see, they're all fixed in their spot, and they don't move at all.
we're saying money is not fixed in its spot.
The word Bahaloi is like really the beginning of a rhetorical question.
Right.
So Rohain Bimkomo, when they're not in the spot and they don't move at all. They don't move from the spot at all, ever. Right?
What are we talking about? What Hain is they? What is they?
Right. So the Shemayim, right? We're talking about the pasuk is referring to Shemayim Misrapim Kavod Kale.
Right.
So the Shemayim, is it not that they are fixed in their spot and they don't move at all?
So zuzin is to move.
Right.
Afal pi shehakol shelo v'hakol maaseh yadav ein uh, mishchato b'chol
Ein simchaso b'chol.
simchaso happiness
or 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 joy.
or joy.
So let's uh, let's think about this for a minute. We'll see what. So first of all, Yeshamayim Misapin Kavod Kel. The heavens declare Hashem's glory, and is it not that they're in their places and they're not moving at all? Meaning, I think that is an indication that they're fulfilling their purpose, right?
Right?
So is it not that they're fulfilling their purpose that they declare that the heavens declare the glory of a Kadosh Baruch and they're fulfilling their purpose. They're not moving at all and they don't move from their place at all. Alpha P and nevertheless, Alpha P and nevertheless,
That all of them and all of the deeds of his hand um, are not the joy of all.
like this, Alpha P and nevertheless, Shakol, even though that Shakol Shalom, they all are his and they all belong to a Kadosh Baruch Hu. V'chol Ma'aseh Yadav, and all the works of his hands, so to speak. Ain't simchasa b'chol. Hashem is not um, deriving joy from them at all. So he's not satisfied with all of this. Ella, except
Ella am zaro shel Avraham bilvad, except for the nation of the offspring of Avraham alone.
right, the only joy that Kadosh Baruch Hu gets, the only satisfaction that Kadosh Baruch Hu gets is from the is with Am is with this in the case of I'm with the offspring of Avram Avinu. Um,
So I
so how
don't I
come
don't get this. Even though that all are his, everything is his, and all of the works of his hands do not provide him with joy. I don't get that.
okay, so let's explain as follows. It's based on the pasuk that Shemayim Misapin Kavod Kel. So that's a tremendous thing. The Shemayim are doing a tremendous thing. The heavens are declaring the glory of a Kadosh Baruch Hu. And part of what that is that they are fixed in their place and they don't move from there at all. They don't move from there at all. Never, and even though that they all belong to Kadosh Baruch Hu, and they're all the result of His creation, and they're doing a tremendous thing. Nevertheless, they don't give satisfaction, joy to Kadosh Baruch Hu. Only the offspring of Avram Avinu. Now, the I think that the basic way we can understand it is based on exactly what we're told here. Hein bim komam ve'ein zuzin l'sham l'olam. They're completely fixed, rigid, unchanging, unmoving. I mean, they're exactly as they were created, and they're performing their task of their creation exactly as Hashem intended. Nevertheless, that's not a source of joy to Kadosh Baruch Hu, right? That something's been created to do something, and it's doing what it's supposed to do. So that's not a source of joy to Kadosh Baruch Hu. The source of joy to Kadosh Baruch Hu is Am Yisrael, the offspring of Avraham Avinu. That when we are fulfilling the Ratzon of Kadosh Baruch Hu, what's the difference that when we fulfill the Ratzon of Kadosh Baruch Hu, Hashem gets joy from that, whereas when the Shemayim, and I guess you could expand that to the whole of all other creatures and everything else in existence, why is it that Hashem's not getting joy from that? So, I'll give you a muscle to explain. Let's say you have a play, one of those big fancy Broadway plays. I never went to one of them, but I've heard about them. Big Broadway plays, very elaborate costumes. The actors are the best actors in the world. The stage and the lighting, music, everything's Broadway. You can imagine what it's all about. So, and the audience is enjoying the play, and they definitely enjoy the music. They definitely enjoy the lighting. They definitely enjoy the stage and the props, and they definitely enjoy the costumes. But who do they get the most pleasure out of? The actors. Who do they applaud for? They applaud for the actors, right?
Right.
Because everything else is basically fixed. The stage is fixed, the props are fixed, the lighting is programmed, right? The music is programmed, right? The actors, when they perform, right? So the audience gets the pleasure of watching the actors perform. So similarly, that when Klal Yisrael is doing what we're supposed to do, like we're the actors upon this stage of the universe that Hashem has created for us to perform. So that's the true joy that a Kadosh Baruch Hu gets, is when we're performing properly. Does that help a bit?
Well, I mean, I understood what you said, but it doesn't seem to match the words. Because the words say he's not getting joy. Oh, he's not getting joy from you're saying he's not getting joy from the props. He's only getting joy from the Jewish people.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
yeah, that does help.
Yeah. But just when you go to a Broadway show, so you definitely without the props, without the stage, without the lighting, background music, and everything else, although it wouldn't be a Broadway show. It would just have the
Right.
actors getting up there, and saying their lines and things like that. Everything else is important. Everything is essential to the success and the enjoyment of the um of the show. But the real joy is really from the actors.
Right.
I think that's maybe perhaps a way of understanding it.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Uh, Yom Liyom, uh, Yavia Omer, from Tehillim. Um, what is this word? Avia? Vet,
Um,
Ayin?
so this is a pasuk Tehillim. Maybe it's worthwhile. You have a Tehillim nearby? You test pasuk Gimel.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Yud, Tes, Gimel. Yud, Tes is what, 19?
Right.
And then it's Gimel. Um, Yom Liyom, Yapia, Omer, V'layla, Lila, Lila, Yeah, no, Hashem, Das. Day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night revealeth knowledge. So, so this word is utter, to utter.
Um, no, that's Omer. Yom Yom Yavia Omer. Yavia is to come. One day coming to the next will say.
Come, come and say. Each day will come and say, Mat Tivan shall Shnei Yamim Hallelu. What is this word Tivan?
What's the nature? What's the essence or the nature of these 2 days? Like, because the pasuk is saying, like, one day comes to say to the next.
Ah, what is the nature of these 2 days? Zeh Yomo Shel Moshe Shiv, Shivyashar Es Yomo Shel uh, Yehoshua.
Right. Huh.
So
So
this is the day of Moshe. Uh, what is this word? Shivi Shar?
Shiviyasa is like we say Besoros Tovos, right? A person should have Besoros Tovos. The
Uh,
expression Besoros Tovos is the person should have good news, right? So Besoros are like news, but here in this case, it's like a verb that heralds. He heralds. The Shivaser is to herald, to announce, proclaim.
I see. Okay. Uh, so this day of Moshe heralds the day of Joshua. Shneimar Hayom Hazeh Achal Tit
Hey,
Bahadcha.
hey, hey, this is also where while looking up this pasuk that's in the Devarim, Perek Beis Chaf Hey.
Right.
Wow.
Hey, that's a very unique word. Hey,
Bet 25.
right.
225. Let's see. What's this? 2. 225. Hayom Hazeh Achel Ace Pad Pachtecha Vayir Ascha Al Pnei Ha'amim Tachas Kol Hashemayim Asher Yishme'un Mish'acha Viragzu V'chalu Mipanecha. This day I shall begin to put uh, dread and fear on your face. I'm sorry, no, on the faces of the people uh, under all of the heaven when they hear of your reputation. And they tremble before you. So let's
So
see. It says, as it
this
says, Hayom Hazeh, this day, Achel, um,
means to Achel means to begin, right? Like
I shall
Milah.
begin. I shall begin. Teat is to put,
Hey, Pachtecha, you're right,
to put fear.
right.
All right. So what's the point? Um,
Yeah. Let's see, does Rashi explain a little bit of that pasuk, maybe? Take a look at Rashi for a minute.
oh, that's a good question. Let's see. 25. Uh, Tachas kol hashemayim, under the entire heaven, limaid. This has taught us she'amda chama l'Moshe, that the sun stood for Moshe. Vayom mil chemes od, on the day of the war of Og. V'noda hadavar, and the matter became known. Tachas kol hashemayim, under the entire heavens.
I have a quote from
Uh,
Rambam. It says, after seeing the rout of Sihon and Og, the Canaanites would have surrendered or fled, but God made them decide to fight to the death rather than capitulate. It's a comment by Ramban.
Interesting. Yeah, very, very good, very good. There should have been a tremendous fear based on what Moshe Rabbeinu did in that war, seeking the oil. But yeah, the Ramban says very, very truthfully that Baruch Hu, rather than have them flee, gave them courage to resist.
Yep.
So this day, that's the beginning of this day, at the time when the sun had, when most winter had the sun stand still, the pachad, that was the beginning of the pachad, which should have been um, culminated in the surrender of the nations that lived here in Eretz Canaan. Let's see. That's the basic puzzle. So now let's see what the Tana de Belial does with the puzzle. Shema maybe you'll ask a question here.
The Shema Tomar, maybe we'll ask, Ho'il, since HaKadosh Baruch Hu Harag Es Sichon, he killed Sichon, V'es Og, and Og, Mi Magid L'chol Ba'i Ha'olam. Who will tell to all of the world?
Right, meaning how is everyone going to know about this?
Right. Interesting. Okay. Ella ze chama she'amda lo l'Moshe. Rather, ze chama, this son.
Meaning how is it going to be known that about the defeat of seeking Rome? That's going to be the son will be the one that's going to proclaim the victory.
Uh, okay, so the fact that the sun stood still, what demonstrates that that Hashem killed Sichon and Og.
Well, meaning the point is, meaning that we want that the pachtecha is the fear of Moshe Rabbeinu, right? Right.
Right.
So the question is, how are the other nations going to attribute the victory to Moshe and fear Moshe, where because Kirsch Baruch was the one who killed Sikan Ba'oi. I mean, we have to understand what that means exactly, because the pasuk says clearly the Moshe Rabbeinu killed. I think it was Og. I don't know what happened to Sichon, right? So who's going to magi the called boy Olam? Who's going to tell this to the whole world about these killing these two great mighty kings? So rather, it's going to be the son will be the one who's going to proclaim that you see that was the fear that people should have, or the fear for Moshe. but the sun was stood still for motion. Now, there are a lot of questions here. Is the what does it mean that a Kadosh Baruch Hu was the one that killed Sipin Og? And how is it that the sun standing still will indicate that it was the one that it would be Moshe Rabbeinu, and then therefore it's going to be a fear for Moshe Rabbeinu? I have a few things to ask about this, but I see we're not going to get the answers today on this. So maybe let's hold it, and I'll tell you we'll begin this paragraph again tomorrow. And let's take a short break now for the Mishna Berura here. And we'll hopefully be able to clear up some of the VR that we're working on the vote tomorrow to working on that. So thank you, Lou, for the reading. Appreciate it.
Yeah, yes, kayak, Lou.
Brooks in the air. Thank
Very
you,
good.
Rabbi.
Thank you, and we'll be back soon.
Okay, see you in a few minutes.
Thank you. Thank you very much again.